everyone. Welcome to Tamela and Taylor's Treat Talk Tuesday, where we're here every Tuesday for you. We talk about treats, business, and life. I am Tamela, owner of Torlitas, where that sweet and crunchy taste. Torlitas is a dessert company located right here in the great state of Ohio, and we specialize in salty, sweet treats. That's everything from tortilla chips with different chocolates and toppings. And I have over a dozen varieties. Yes, a dozen. If you want to know more about me and my business, please go to at Torlitas. That's T as in Tuesday, Orlitas. And I'm going to introduce my lovely co-host, Taylor, and she has a lot more in store for you today. So she's going to introduce herself as well as our guests.
Hi, I'm Taylor with Taylor's Kitchen, located in Albion, Michigan, where we make custom treats for your special occasion. And I can be found on all social media handles at Sweet Spirit Treats. All right, guys. So I'm super excited because this week, we talk all the time about treats, business, and life. So we have a new business that just opened, just launched on Juneteenth. And so I just wanted to bring them on here because they have a lot of insight and also they help me out a lot. So without further introduction, this is the company Righteous View. And not only are they a new company, they are my brother and sister. So let's give them a round of applause. They sample all my snacks. And they tell me if they're good or bad. Okay, guys. These are the critics. Okay.
We are the taste testers. This is true.
Yes.
This is true. Hello, everyone. Thank you for having us.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yes, hello. It's definitely good to be here too. I'm excited about it.
Yes, I am too. So can you guys tell us a little bit about Righteous View and how everything got started and how you came to be?
Sure. So I'm Takela. I'm co-owner of Righteous View. Taylor's biggest, bestest sister in the world. I raised her basically, changed her diapers, took care of her, the reason for her being, but otherwise, other than that, started the company with my brother, Tremaine, our brother, Tremaine. We focus on art and we have apparel. We focus on art, biblical art, also apparel, hashtag Black is Biblical. Like you said, we launched on Juneteenth, but this has been something that's been in works for us for a very long time, just as a family. We're really just out here trying to educate people and also just share our word of Yah. So I'll let Tremaine talk about it a little bit as well.
Yep, my name is Tremaine. As they said, I raised both of them, so I the one got Taylor to bake and all of that. No, no, I'm just playing.
So petty.
I'm just playing about that, but I did put her up on the gluten-free, allergen-free, so I get some credit. But no, yeah. So we are Righteous View, as she said, where we bring truth and art. I know that a big part of what we do is we do it for the children. We do it for my nieces and my nephews. I know Taylor and Takela, they both homeschool. And so with them homeschooling, one of the things that we wanted to implement is we wanted to show more, we wanted to show more representation when it comes to their learning, because one of the aspects of learning for them is the biblical studies as well. And so they couldn't find that, and and I know the need, as a minister out here, I'd be running into some of the same problems. And so it started off kind of like me coming up with this idea that I wanted to do puzzles. And I went to them and I talked to my little nephew, which is Takela's son, Breslin, and we started brainstorming, and he came up you know, said, let's do Shad Rap Me, Shad and the Bendigo. And so I actually commissioned a local artist, and we did it, and I got some puzzles made. But then we took it a step further, you know what I mean? And me and Takela, I approached Takela, and we kind of brainstormed some more. We came up with an art company. And so we produce art, canvas art. And again, like she said, we also do apparel as well. And so you can see that fly hat I got on. It looks good. But listen, but that's one of them too, you know. So we have hats, we have shirts, you know, the ladies' dresses. We're trying to get the dresses up and running as well. But we've been having a great old time. This is one of our canvases right here. This is the canvas that I was talking about, that Breslin brought up. You can't really see it because of this, but
we'll
yeah,
definitely post pictures, guys, so you guys can see them and links and everything. There it is.
Okay. So yeah, we just took it from there, and the rest is history. So yeah.
Excellent.
Were you gonna say something?
Go for it.
So I was gonna say, so tell us about your process of like finding artists and vetting people, and like how long it took to actually get the designs and things like that for your art company.
You know, I mean, as far as when it comes to like finding artists, I think one of the things, the first person that I went to was actually an artist that we actually know. It's a local artist, but Takela actually was a part of a group online of artists, and she actually invited me to that, and she showed me the gentleman who did our Moses Arms of Faith canvas, and so we commissioned him as well. But one of the things we look for is that we look for we look for other we don't like do people of color. We look specifically for Black people, and we use them. We see, you know what I mean, how their work is, and we just go from there pretty much, you know. So it's kind of a hunting process because everybody doesn't do the same kind of caliber of work that we do, that we want. Anything that we do, we want to do high level. You know, we don't want it to be basic or anything on that level. So we look for a certain look, and then we kind of talk it out together, and then we approach that person to see how much they charge, and we go from there, because everything we want the rights to too. It's not like on like a consignment or anything like that. We want to be able to duplicate it. We want to be able to do whatever it is we want to do with it. So it's practically copyrighted to our LLC, to Righteous View. You got anything, Kayla?
Yeah, I was just gonna say pretty much what you said. Absolutely. But with the Facebook groups, I was just gonna say that how important kind of like that, what is it, that grassroots knocking on people's doors kind of thing is right now, especially with everyone opening up these businesses and stuff. It's something to say about those groups, because like he said, that's where we found the gentleman to do that artwork for us. And that's also where when we first posted it, that we got the most comments, the most shares, the most people looking at it is when you find your group. You know, when you find your niche, and you find the people that are interested in the things that you are selling, it's something to say about those small groups too, as far as entrepreneurship and business goes. Kind of that knocking on people's door and seeing if, you know, is this for you? And then connecting with those type of people. It's something to say about that in business. It's very important. I think it's overlooked sometimes. Very important area and space that we should be looking into as business owners.
Well, one of the things that you're absolutely right. One of the things that I've noticed is that even though we're doing everything digital, you know, newspapers and magazines are for advertising, but word of mouth, it still works. I mean, that is your best advertisement, is word of mouth.
Right.
And like you said, when you get the people in your group that enjoys what you're offering, and they're giving you that feedback, that's your test market right there. So for any new business that's out there, you know, you got to get with the people that, you know, are on board with you and what you do and vibing with what you're doing. And they will tell you what they like and what they don't like. So I applaud you both for getting with and, you know, joining groups and hearing feedback and things like that. So kudos for that.
Thank you.
So yes, Facebook groups are super important. Also, I want you guys to kind of explain. We do homeschool our kids, but explain what is the actual importance of images and how they play a vital role in our society. Because I know that you guys' tagline is truth in art, and so we know that art can come in many shapes and forms, and most of the time when we see it, we're like, is it good for us or is it like bad for us, you know, immediately. So explain to us why this is truth in art.
Okay. So for us, in our beliefs and who we are as people, it was extremely important for us to teach our children and show our children images of people who look. We were running into trying to explain to them biblical history, which is our history, without finding people who related to us in skin color and hair or in any kind of way. And so it's very hard to teach someone something without any good representation. And so as to look for that representation, we just weren't finding it into the quality that we were looking for. And so I was like, we got to do it ourselves. You know, it comes a time where you're like, when you're literally trying to find something, it's just not there. So what do? You know, we just always been raised up by our mom, who's always been in business. Like, you know, if you can't find it, you just got to do it yourself. It wasn't no just go with whatever is out there. You know, like she never taught us that. You know, you got to make your own way. And so that's what we decided to do, because with my son, like he was saying, coming up with these puzzles for him was really, really big, because he just could not understand why the pictures and images we were seeing were so different than what he was reading in the actual scriptures. He could not wrap his mind around that. And so that was a big push for me, because even though I could maybe wrap my mind around it and say, hey, they really are supposed to look like, he was like, no, I can't. You know, I need to see something that looks like what you're telling me and what these scriptures are telling me these people look like. And so I think that's why it was so important for me. And that's why I love this business, is because he's able to see it. My children are able to see it come to fruition from the ground up. And not only are they able to see these biblical images that look like them, they're able to see their mom, their uncle, auntie run a business. And I think that's very, very important upbringing. But yeah, the truth and art part is pretty much based on the scripture. The scriptures say about the people of the Bible. And so we wanted to bring the truth in the art, you know. And when we were trying to look for like a tagline for our business, we could not come up with anything. And then one day I was like, you know what, it's truth. It's truth in art. And Tremaine was like, that's it. That's what it is, you know, that's it. So we went with that.
So to Kayla and Tremaine, I understand that you have a religious lean towards your art, but is it for anybody?
The thing about it is it's not even a religious lean. We don't call it a religious lean because, you know what I mean? Like we stand on scripture and we believe that scripture is final. And so, I mean, I understand, you know, where people could classify it as religious, but, you know, we don't practice in a way that, you know what I mean? Just religious, doing traditions of men and stuff like that. We try to go, you know, where the scripture is leading us. And that's why we call it truth in art. And one of the things, just to touch on that, you know, just to kind of go off of what Kayla was saying, is that one of the things that we don't really understand as people is most people I don't believe understand this how much of a role arts play in shaping the narrative of society, you know. And so, you know, I don't want to get too deep here, but you know what I mean, but everything that we know comes from some form of art or some kind of form of someone telling us a story by visualizing it and seeing it, you know what I mean? And this why images were painted in the first place, right? And so what we're trying to do is we're trying to reshape the narrative. And I mean, I would say, sure, it could be for anybody who wants truth, but it's just the society that we live on. Most people won't accept truth, you know what I mean? And so just like with any business, you're going to have your target audience, you know, you're going to have people that's more willing to be like, yeah, man, this is for me, this is for us, you know what I'm saying? So even us, we got our target audience, but we would wish that, you know what I mean, that anybody who believed in the scriptures would embrace us, you know what I mean? But that's not always the case, you know what I mean? If we lived in a perfect world, that's what it would be. But I just wanted to definitely share that because in art, this is how they shape the society, you know what I mean? This is how Christ was displayed. And so this is why everybody look at you know, when we talked about Black people and nowadays and the supremacy, the stuff that we've all went through, this is what they've done under the umbrella of falseness, you know what I mean? And so everything that we talk about, we're pointing to in scripture, and we're just like we say, reimagine, you know what I mean? Because this is like she said, my nephew couldn't read, like he was so advanced, he was reading stuff on his own. And he was like, wait a minute, well, what about this? And what about that? You know what I'm saying? And it takes a child, it takes a child sometimes just to say something like that to you. And you'd be like, I don't know, kind of question you because, you know, you may not know everything. You know what I mean? You kind of just took the word of other people for it. And so that's why we really believe in what we do, because it's not just a business, it's actually a mission that we're on as well. So,
Right.
So yeah, if that answers the question.
Yeah,
I
it
mean,
does. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
I believe representation matters. You know, I believe you find comfortability in representation. I believe that you the things that go on in people's minds when they go to learn something.
Froze up.
You actually get more comfortable when there's someone there who represents you. You actually pay attention when you have someone representing you in the building. I mean, representation matters all through life. And so that's why this company means so much to us, is because we can feel like we have some representation. There's so many other works of art that are biblical, that have people who look nothing like us and that have been going on for thousands of years, and nobody questions it or says anything about the validity of these pieces of art, which is okay. But it's just kind of weird that once someone represents these pieces of art in another color, in a black face, that we get a lot of questions like, is this okay? And I'm like, but why are we not questioning any other pictures? It's because that's what's been shown to us and we became acquainted with, and we become accustomed to it. And I would love for us to become accustomed to Righteous View art, you know, just the whole world in general.
Yeah.
I think
So
you're on your way.
huh?
Then definitely you're on your way.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
So I just want to ask you guys, what was the first step in putting your company together? Did you do the art first? Did you do the business side first? What were the first steps once you had the idea of having an art curator company?
You want to go with that, Tremaine?
No, you could start it off.
Okay, so the first thing was I had to steal the company from my brother. So that was the first thing. He literally this was an ideal that him and my son, his nephew Breslin, they were working on it, and all the kids were so excited about getting these puzzles and stuff. And I was just like, I had an ideal one day about a few different things, with Righteous View that could be done. And so I came to him. I don't know if you remember, Taylor. I was like, let me get your company. Let me do it. Let me run it. Let me do it. I got so many ideals. Just let me do it. You're looking at me like, what? No, I already have all this going, but I'm like, just let me do it. So, but basically we decided to work together. Um, and he already had a business of his own, a publishing company, and that's kind of what he was running Righteous View under. And I just had the idea, instead of running it under one of his other companies, to just start it together. So after we agreed upon that is when we went ahead and applied for our LLC, at which Taylor had already had one at the time. Tremaine, someone else in our family had one. So it's definitely a family thing. Our family is very business minded. Um, and so I was able to talk to them guys and figure out the best way, what they did that they wish they would have done differently, what way they could have got it done faster or less expensive. And so I took all those pointers that I got from the different people in my family, and we went ahead and registered for the LLC. And once we got that done, it was just like it was so exciting to have, that EIN, that tax number. Like, we ready to move, we ready to, like, let's do this. The apparel came later. The apparel actually came a lot later in our business plan. So it wasn't centered around apparel before, it was centered around art. We got our logo. I actually made the logo, so we saved on that. We worked at so many different things to launch, and so it was very exciting. It's still very exciting. I mean, we're still brand new, it feels to be putting in orders and everything like that. We just got another order today. Tremaine was talking to someone. So it feels very surreal, but it's a really good feeling. And I know that it is, this was meant to be the way it came about. It was definitely ordained by Yah to come about in this way that has done. So it's exciting.
I know oftentimes, thank you for that. I know oftentimes when you're starting a business or you've been in business for a while and things are going well, but nobody knows the background. Nobody
Mhm.
sees the late nights, nobody sees the early mornings,
Right.
nobody really tells how it really was, as far as starting. Can
Mhm.
either of you, Tremaine or Tequila, talk about the pitfalls that happened, if there were any, because maybe not, the pitfalls, that you might have experienced in creating your business? And also, I want to, before we go too far into our discussion, how can somebody order? Do you have are you on Facebook? Are you on Instagram, TikTok, any of those handles? How can someone order? Any order you want to take of that, I know I came with you with two
Go ahead,
things, so
Tremaine.
Yeah,
pitfalls and how to order.
yeah, yeah. We are on uh TikTok, Facebook, everything, but you can find us at www.righteousview.com. That'll lead you to pretty much everything. That's where you go. You can see our artwork, you can see our apparel. Grab you a hat, grab you a shirt, grab you a canvas, all of that. You know what I mean? But one of the things you're talking about is, as far as business and pitfalls, I don't think we've had any pitfalls, but those long nights and stuff you're talking about. I think I'm gonna post I think I was gonna post a little video tonight. My sister recorded me talking about this, what it's like working with him at night. We both got our computers out, we're working, and I'm all the way leaning back like this with my head up in the air. And so we've had a lot of long nights, all nights. We've had different things where we had deadlines to get when we was actually going to do the grand opening. We had a deadline to get the website up, and that almost became a pitfall because we were trying to do it, and Kayla was actually trying to tackle it, because I told her, I don't think I could do this. I just want to go in and pay somebody. She's like, nah, we don't need to. You don't ever want to pay nobody. She's like, I just want to do it. I want to do this that. I was like, man, we better just go and pay somebody. So finally, she said, okay, let's go and pay somebody. And so we went and paid for somebody. And then he just got the structure, the HTML and stuff right, and then she went and took it the rest of the way, and we actually got it out in time, and it looks great. You know what I mean? It looks great. She does a great job at moving stuff around and keeping it up and stuff like that. But as far as any like real pitfalls, not that I remember. Do you remember any, Takela?
Well,
Well,
we didn't have, like he said, we had some deadlines that we had for ourselves that didn't come through very well. We had to do a showing, and we did not have what we needed to do our first like show, and it just so happened that same day that show got canceled, and they postponed it to the next week. So our supplier did not have our we actually paid for like rush shipping on some of our stuff. I mean, we paid a lot of money for the shipping so that be here before the show, and it just wasn't, and there was nothing that we could do. We even tried to call the shipping company to see if we could like drive to the next state and pick up our merchandise, but it just didn't happen. But like I said, that show actually got postponed to the next week. So the next week when we were supposed to do it, we had our shipment then. So it all worked out. So it wasn't really a pitfall, but it was really a eye-opening experience that no matter what these shipping companies tell you that they're able to do and how much extra money you give them, you have to be in order early. You can't be having it there the day before the show or anything like that. You have to have your stuff together a lot earlier. So we really learned from that.
Yeah, we also learned because with one of the things, I just put a video up and I said you always have to like double check before you put items out and stuff like that, because I had designed some shoes and I ordered some samples of the shoes, and when it came back, they were like, "Isn't it backwards?" It's like on one side, the designs and stuff were backwards. Yeah. And I had to go back, and I had to go back like a lot of times, and I had to keep on like communicating with people. And some of the suppliers that I've been using that's overseas, and so I'd have to stay up really, really late at night and talk to them. And you got to just be making sure you double checking and stuff like that, because at the end of the day, customer service is key. We had a person who spent a really nice amount of money on a large canvas, and she hit us back up when she got it. She said, "I haven't even opened the box up, and what I want to do is I want to exchange it because I can see from the box it's not big enough. I need a bigger one for my wall, and can I exchange it?" Well, like, we got to figure out a way now to how to make the customer happy. And even though we got on our website, we don't take exchanges, or we don't take stuff back. You know what I mean? All of the sales are final. We still was like, look, we got to do something to make this right. And so we hit her up. We said, look, how about we just give you half off? You know what I mean? Because in order for you to send that canvas back to us, with the shipping rate is going to be very high anyway. And she was like, yes, then I could bless somebody with this, you know what I'm saying? And so look, we got a happy customer, and we have somebody else that's going to know about Righteous View because they're going to bless somebody else with that canvas. And so it's really just, I mean, in business, you just got to kind of move with the cheese. Like, something might happen today that you've never experienced, and you just got to find a way, you know what I mean? But you do have to, like, one of the things that we've always practiced on is treating others how we want to be treated. And so my sister, she used to be a server, and she would always tell us about how rude people are, and she always tried to train other people on customer service and stuff like that. So we're gonna have to be practicing what we preach, because that's what we've always said, you know what I mean? And so now that we're a company, we got to learn to do just that, and so yeah, that's a couple of things that has happened.
I am so glad you said that, because especially about customer service. How many times have we gone, I think you can probably pick a couple, 3 places right now out of your head about where you went, what type of customer service that you received, and it was
Right.
horrible,
Right.
and you won't go back, you know? So
Right.
I'm
Yeah.
glad that you mentioned customer service in this, because yeah, you could have lost a customer for life if you said no, we ain't taking it back, you know, but you compromised with this order and this lady to make it a win-win really for the both of you,
Yeah.
or, you
Yep.
know, for each other. And I think that customer service really needs to be for
Top priority.
every business,
Yep.
because you can't just get mad at people and just, cuss them
Right.
out. I don't understand that. But anyway, that's all I want to say about that. So
Yeah.
good. Thanks for sharing that.
I was just gonna ask, can you guys tell us a little bit about your background? I mean, I know you personally, so I know like the businesses that we have been in, the things that we have gone through. I'm happy that you mentioned about being a server, because every time I see something from Takela, I'm always telling her to just write the book. Okay. If you guys ever see me post that on social media under her name or anything, she is like great with customer service. And so I'm always telling her to write the book. You know, she can have multiple companies at one time with different streams of income. She should be like a customer service guru. Okay. There's been plenty of times where me at Taylor's Kitchen would have shut everything down and we would not have had any more orders going out. Okay.
True.
Because of people. All right. So we are putting these scriptures into action. Okay. Because stuff don't be your fault and you still get blamed for it, okay?
And it's
So,
okay.
so Takela, tell us about your acronym and the book that you're about to write on customer relations and services, okay, Takela?
Well, it's so simple, you guys. Customer service is not that difficult, and that's why I probably haven't written the book yet. It's because I don't get what people don't get, but I'm working on it, Taylor. I'm
All
working
right,
on
thank you very
And
much.
I'm going to publish it.
Right?
it. But
When
I'm
it comes full
definitely.
circle.
Believe me, it's needed.
I have noticed that a lot of businesses, small or large, there's a big problem with customer service right now. There's a big problem with I feel like people just realizing that to treat people how they want to be treated. I don't know why that is a miss. It's really confusing to me that when you go somewhere that you're not treated with respect that just normal people should be treated with. So I guess it's so confusing to me when I'm treated poorly and I know that it wasn't nothing that I did wrong. I'm like, what is going on? And I'm like, they just have an issue. They don't have good customer service here. And like you said, Turlita, I know you can automatically think of in your mind 3 places that you like, I'm never going there again. And it doesn't be because of like the food or anything that they're selling. It's just the service is so off. And so it's a great need for that. And I feel like there has to be, with all these new businesses open up, it's such a great time right now with Black businesses opening and operating, but there needs to be a customer service training event for the nation. That is how I feel, seriously. I don't think people understand how much people walk away from their businesses when they get treated poorly. So I think that's the first realization people have. Like Tremaine said, we compromise with our client. You know, I don't. That's one thing that I like to do is I like to call people my clients. That's one thing I was telling Taylor a lot. They're not just customers, because clients make it more personal. Client is like they know you, that, and they're going to start coming to you for their need. So I know if people want to make a bold statement with a T-shirt like this one, hey, come to me. You are now my client, and I will take good care of you. And anytime I have something new, I will present it to you in a way that it means something to you because you mean something to me. And so that part, just that small little thing, and changing the word from customer to client, and changing it from these are my customers to these are my clientele, it makes a person feel like you care. You're more than just a customer. You're more than just a dollar to me. I actually care about you, and I am here to supply what you need. And so I think just I think a lot of people feel like you got to have this big overhaul, but it's really treating people how you want to be treated and just changing a few things. And I think that will go a long way.
I think I will adopt that.
And just to add to that, like, one of the things I would say is don't get addicted, don't get addicted or obsessed with the dollar or the amount, right? Because in order for you to truly care about that person, you can't be thinking about the money all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes you're gonna lose. I mean, just simple as that, or sometimes you're gonna break even. The lady that we're talking about, I mean, we wasn't thinking about, okay, well, how much can we make off of it this time? Nah, man, we just want to make sure we just want to make sure you're happy. You know what I mean? And if I could do that and make a little bit of money still, that's fine. But I mean, that's not my whole angle. If I got to lose a little bit of money just to make you happy, especially, we're trying to build something here. Like, I mean, that when you do that to people, they'll love you. They'll continue to come back. They'll share your business. And I think one of the main things that happens is that people be so thinking about right now, how much it's going to cost me, how much I'm going to lose, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And then what happened is they lose like way more, because now that person is done with you. If somebody asks them, they talking bad about you out in the street, you know what I'm saying? And so I think that you just got to really think about those things and stop being so attached to the money, attached to the dollar amount, or like, what is it going to come out of your pocket, So I wanted to say that because I don't think that you could actually care for your clients if that's that's in your mind.
Right. And I will say this, I'm gonna answer the question. I worked for a company for 10 years. I just the pandemic is actually what took me away from working for someone else. So I worked for a company for 10 years where I served, did multiple things, and I treated my regular guests who I knew was gonna give me $2 every time I waited on them, just as good as I treated someone who I thought might give me $100. I made a point, and when I train people, I made a point to tell them to try not to look at your money when you get it off the table. Try not to pay attention. Try to just take it off the table and put it in your pocket. Because what happens is, at the end of the day, at the end of your shift, you're going to be excited about how much money you made, and you're going to feel like I had a great day. But to each table and you pick up the money and they only left me $2. Oh, they only left me $5. Oh, they only left me 10 or whatever. You're getting so many emotions up and down, like, oh, they only left me, and you're starting to judge people by what they left you. Whereas if you just put it all in your pocket, don't pay any attention, at the end of the night, you're great. And you haven't had any bad attitudes about what this one gave you or what that one gave you. At the end of the day, you still got all your money that you need, and you're good. So I take that the same way to business. I treat everyone the same way as if they were giving me, I knew that they had $100 tip waiting on me. I try to treat every single person the exact same way, because you never know. And that little side story, one day I was waiting on two men, and they looked like farmers or something, I don't know, but I gave them the same service I would give anyone else. And they left, and there was $100 bill on the table when they left. They didn't look like the type of people that would have $100 bill anywhere near around them based on their looks, if I was just looking at their looks. And so like, wow, their food was probably $10, $15, and they left me $100. And so I was just so surprised by that. And I want to say 2 weeks later, I was working, and there was a girl that stopped me and said, hey, I recognize your name, you're Takela. And I said, yeah. And she goes, my grandpa was in here a couple weeks ago. And he said, you treated him like he was the president of the United States.
Mm.
And I was like, oh, that's so nice. And she was like, she asked me, like, do I know who she was talking about? I'm like, no, I mean, I don't know. I try to treat everybody the same. She goes, oh, he left you $100. They were really stinky. They were farmers. I said, oh, I remember him. She said, he talked so much about you that I had to come and see who you were. And what? You know, so even more than just the money, it was just that somehow, some way, whatever I did made an impression on this gentleman so much that he went and told someone else. And like Torlita was saying, word of mouth is not dead. It's
Right.
alive and it's working today. A lot of people
Yeah.
come to righteousview.com because of something that they heard someone say, you know, Tremaine Takela has a business, is righteousview.com. That word of mouth is strong. And how you treat people will resonate with them, and they will tell others how you treated them too.
Absolutely.
That's an awesome testimony about how, you know, how it shows that you are supposed to treat people how you want to be treated, no matter whether it's on a small level as you're talking to children like we do, or if you're talking to somebody who's 80 to 100 years old. You know, respect goes a long way in business, in your personal lives, everywhere you go. You know, you got to respect people and treat people how you want to be treated.
Right.
Yep.
Right. So the next question that I have is, like, the name Righteous View really stands out. How did you guys come up with the name Righteous View?
I'll let Tremaine take that one.
If I'm not mistaken, I just think that, you know, I don't really know exactly the time that it came to me, but it was pretty much just thinking about a name and thinking about what it is that we did. And because, you know what I mean, we were talking about truth and art. Well, before we even came up with the tagline "Truth and Art," but it was just righteous. I always think about righteous, and we try to stand on living righteous, right? And then we're also talking about through the eyes, you know what I mean? So something that we see, and so I think that that's where it came from. It wasn't anything really specific. I'm not sure exactly. Do you remember exactly, Takela?
Well, like I said, I kind of stole this company, so it already had the name when I got here.
But I just didn't know if I had, like, you know, if I had told her a specific story, but it was just kind of like, you know, I was just brainstorming.
Did you and Breslin come up with it? I can't remember.
No, it was really just the fact that I was brainstorming on names, and we try to live righteously. And also, since we were going to be dealing with an artist to do it, I was just thinking about, like, how can you put righteous and art together, or righteous and, you know, pictures together, because it started off as puzzles. And then I was like, oh, righteous view, because, you know, we you know, the scripture tells us to live righteously, live righteous lives. But then it's something that you're looking at through your opticals, you know what I'm saying? Your view, your vision. And so I was like, oh, it's a righteous view. I mean, it's simple, you know what I'm saying? It just kind of came to me. And then I think I told Kayla and told you and told the children and everything. And so we just started calling it Righteous View.
Yeah.
For the ones in the back that needs to help with Righteous View, can you spell that out for them?
RIGHTEOUSVIEW, righteousview.com.
All right.
.com.
And like you said, we're on Facebook and we are on Instagram. We are also on TikTok as well.
With the same handle, Righteous
Same
View.
handle, Righteous View. Oh, I'm sorry. On Instagram, is righteous.view. So that's the only difference. On Instagram, we had to change it because someone already had Righteous View. So it's righteous.view on Instagram.
Yep,
Make sure
and also you can do like a hashtag Righteous View, hashtag Black is Biblical. You can see my hat. It says Black is Biblical, we're in the scriptures. And then that kind of have a double meaning, because we're in the scriptures means that you can find us in the pages of scripture, but also because we are a family that believe in standing on the word and living by the principles, mean like we're in it, like we're reading it too. So kind of like a play on the words, you know what I'm saying?
Great.
Awesome. So with that being said, guys, I hope that we have given you something today to listen to and go back on. I'm gonna let Takayla and Tremaine give like closing words, and Tamela, if you have anything else that you want to add, and we are gonna wrap up this podcast. So, Tremaine or Takayla, do you have any closing words?
Well, I just want to thank y'all for the opportunity. I love what y'all do. This is probably Brooklyn's favorite YouTube channel to watch. So I'm my Taylor's niece, my daughter, makes a point to watch Tamela's and Taylor's Treat Talk Tuesday. All those T's. I love it. But so we really do appreciate you guys for letting us be on here and sharing our business with you guys. Taylor, you are awesome. You make the best cakes. You make these kids happy. You're gonna have to send us some from where you moving to. You're gonna have to start sending us cakes, Torlita. I gotta get some of yours. I've been telling Taylor that, like, I watch your stuff and I think you do an awesome job. Everything looks so professional and well done. So you girls are rocking it out. I really love y'all. Y'all doing a really, really, really good job.
Thank you.
And I just like to piggyback off there and say thank you all for having us. It's nice meeting you, Tamela. I know that a couple times I probably reached out and said a couple things, and you was like, "Who is this dude that keeps saying stuff to us?"
I did say that to Taylor. This one guy, he said we should, make sure we put up our videos. And you're like, "Oh, that's my brother." I was like, "Oh,
okay." So yeah, so it's nice to formally meet you. And
Yes.
again, I probably won't be able to eat none of your food because again, I am the one that has the allergies and stuff like that. But they do look great. And if you ever have an allergy line, allergy friendly line, I will try it and I will buy it. You know what I'm saying? But until then, I'm gonna just keep taking advantage of my little sister's sweet spirit treats, those delicious gluten-free, dairy-free cookies. But again, I appreciate y'all for having us, and it's been fun. It's been real fun.
Thank you.
good. Thank you both, Tremaine and Takayla. And what can we say about my co-host Taylor? She is the bomb. You guys already said that. She is thebomb.com. And I really appreciate all of your accolades and taking your time today to be a guest on Tamela and Taylor's Treat Talk Tuesday. I believe this is going into our 7th or 8th month. We're here every Tuesday on YouTube at Tamela and Taylor's Treat Talk Tuesday. You can also connect with us at
Tamela and Taylor's Treat Talk on Instagram.
On Instagram. And if you definitely want to be a part of our next guest or be our next guest on our show, you can email us at Tamela or always get a mess up, Treat Talk Tuesday at gmail.com. That's Treat Talk Tuesday at gmail.com. And again, righteousview.com. Go and support, please. We like to support and share our platform with other business owners, and I don't think that you will be disappointed with Righteous View. So as my closing question, what's next for Righteous View?
Well, we were just talking today. We are getting some more artwork done because, like we said, that's what we started with. And like Tremaine said a little bit earlier, we are going to get dresses because we have had so many people asking us about dresses. I have a few that I've made myself, just me over here in my little room. And we've had so many people tell us that they want some. And so that's what's next for us, finding the right vendor and everything, a supplier for dresses, and get a couple more pieces of art out there. So we're excited about that.
Make sure they plus size. I want one. Okay.
Right. That is definitely that is a must for us. Yes. Thank
All
you.
right. Awesome. So again, thank you so much, Righteous View. Blessings for your business going forward. And Taylor, what can we say? We got another one. We did it again. We did it again.
Well,
All right.
guys,
So with that being said, go
thank
ahead.
you very much. Oh, I was just gonna say thank you very much. You can see this episode. It will be coming out soon on Tamela and Taylor's Treat Talk Tuesday, where we talk to you about treats, business, and life. Have a blessed week.
Have a blessed
All
week.
right. Bless